It's almost hungry me to just go home. I'm like, fuck it all.
You know that girl that is upstairs in there right now. Somebody upstairs on our room. I don't understand.
Okay, sorry for that, but no, I mean, I'm trying my possible best.
I can't let that by speech today. Do that thing.
No, my biggest son, that's a chubby guy. I feel like he's tiny.
Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Fun Pop with Lillian, bringing you all the midnight vibes in Biggie's house. So after the Daniel task, we all know this task was such an emotional one because the housemates had to write a letter to themselves. So after it, Cross decided to compliment Seyi's brain, and he went ahead telling Seyi that had it been he was a psycho, he could have even dissect your head, take out your brain, eat it in order for him to have the kind of knowledge you have. That can you imagine you wrote nothing on the paper, but yet you were spitting fire and words of wisdom, that he really admired that about you. While Shay in return said thank you, he went ahead to tell Cross that he really misses his wife, that the wife wrote a letter for him while he was coming into the house, that anytime it gets hard, he should go and read that letter. That right now he's regretting why he didn't leave a letter for the wife as well, so that the wife could once in a while read what he wrote. And he said he just feel like leaving the house, but then he doesn't want that to cross his mind again, but he really misses his wife and the child. Meanwhile, Sissy has complimented Cross's eyeglasses and told him that how about you open a brand of eyeglass when we leave the house, that you have been rocking different kinds of shades in the house and they all look good on you. He should have a think about having a brand of his own. Meanwhile, our resident couple decided to share 1 or 3 or 4 or 5 or even more kisses. And then Adekunle told Venita that, do you know that so many people lied about their story in that Tano milk task? And while Venita tried to find out who lied, Adekunle said, you know what, I don't want to sound negative. I don't want to be the Adekunle of my previous season. So let's just move ahead. I don't want to mention names, but a lot of people lied about the story they told. And I'm wondering, why would they even lie? And Adekunle also went ahead to tell Venita that even Ilebaye came to meet him and said, is it okay to share a story about my family? You know, my family being that I came from a broken home. And Adekunle said she told her, why not? If that is your story, go ahead and share it, that's you, and nothing beats being original. And I'm like, Adekunle, who lied now? At this point, Adekunle is our Omini Knowers too. Adekunle and that parrot knows everything in Biggie's house. Because when I was listening, I was like, oh, these guys are sharing their stories. But here is Adekunle saying so many people lied, they made up those stories. Meanwhile, Tolani Badge and Kiddwaya decided to talk about the task, and Kiddwaya said, you know what, being in All-Star season, in fact, we all should be proud of ourselves because we've done well. If not, Big Brother will not be inviting us for the second time. And did you notice that since Tolani has been, having that issue with Nero, that she has been spending more time with Kiddwaya? These guys are funny. Anyways, they went ahead to discuss about what to look out for after the show, and Kiddwaya mentioned how he really wants to get into the movies, make movie, concentrate on business and all that.
I would kidnap you and open your brain and study your brain.
Meanwhile, upstairs, Mercy and Angel decided to play the snooker game, and while at it, White Money kept correcting them, same as fraud. They would be like, oh, play this way, play this way. Meanwhile, Angel and Mercy already told them they're just playing for the fun of it. They don't even really know how it's been done. They're just having fun. And when White Money and fraud continue, to interfere and correct them, they said, you know what, the both of you should come and play. Because they were saying, hit this, it will go in and all that. And they say, you come and pot it. because they kept saying bottom, you know. And then they said, in fact, hand these guys the stick, they should come do it by themselves. Meanwhile, Kiddwaya decided to remember to remind Ilebaye a sentence she made during her Dano task, where she said people were telling her that without her father she will not make it. She will be nothing without her father. And Kiddwaya was like, were you hurt by those words? And Ilebaye said yes. And Kiddwaya now said, but you actually used such a sentence on me in the house. And Ilebaye went ahead to apologize to Kiddwaya. And that's just the irony of life, because, you know, this kind of word hurts you, and here you are telling another person in the house same thing that you know that hurts you. Anyway, Ilebaye apologized to Kid, saying, oh, I'm sorry, you should know I was drunk that night, you should know, I was not in a good mood, that was why I said that to you. And then Alex chipped in that Ilebaye is even yet to learn a lesson from the whole thing that happened to her. That the other day, Ilebaye still went ahead to drink overboard and wasn't even acting in her right senses. That in fact, she had to wait for Ilebaye, like, to use the loo and all that. And Alex went ahead to ask Ilebaye, don't you know your limits when it comes to drinking? And she said, oh, 2 crowns. And Alex said, I'm not saying you shouldn't drink, but then you should know your limits and don't exceed your limits. From there, they started having discussion regarding guys in the house. And then Alex told Ilebaye that when it comes to rolling with all the guys in the house, you should just know that the world will definitely judge you. But what you shouldn't do is try to toll with any of their feelings. That it's cool if you want to be friends with anybody, but then, don't go the extreme way, like toiling or playing them. That she herself, she know that definitely, because she's the guy's girl, she's the girl that most of her friends are male, that definitely people will judge her. But then you should just know that you're doing the right thing and not, the wrong things. That's the only way you will be cool with your conscience. After that, Baye mentioned how she's hungry and can't wait to eat, and was even asking Alex to come make something so they can eat. Wrapping this part of the midnight vibe with a discussion from Adekunle and Seyi. So Adekunle told Seyi that tomorrow being pool party, she won't be active like before. That all he will be doing is to make sure he gets all his edibles and then just chill and spend time with Venita. That unlike before, he will be, running around to make sure everybody gets this or that he won't be doing that any longer. That he just wants to stay on his lane and mind his damn business. Meanwhile, Seyi asked him, have you spoken to Doyin since the Aquafina task that she apologized? And he said no, he hasn't, but then he acknowledged her. Adekunle said he doesn't know if he will want to talk to Doyin separately, but then during his Dano task, when he was mentioning about his housemates of his season, he acknowledged Doyin and even acknowledged her more for saying the truth. At least now a little burden has been lifted off his shoulder. And after which they went ahead to discuss about incoming tasks and even talk about how most tasks that came late in their season is coming earlier on in the show this time around. Thank you for listening, and if you really found this interesting, please do well to give this video a like, and I can't wait to read your comments in the comment section. I will see you in my next video. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
I'm not going to participate in terms of either giving people food or giving people drink.